Meditation Master JinBodhi's Dharma teachings, the meaning of life. I want to ask all of you, what is the meaning of life? This is a big question, but it is worth pondering. Please express your opinion. Share your understanding about it. Hello, Master. Having a goal gives life meaning. Having a goal in life. Okay, this is the most honest and practical thought of many ordinary people. The meaning of life is to realize our self-value. Well said. You are getting closer. Very good. Hi, Master. The meaning of life is, we play our roles well in different stages of our life. If we are students, we study well. If we work hard. If we are a daughter, be a good daughter. If we're married, be a good spouse. If we are teachers, educate our students well. If we are soldiers, be good soldiers to protect our borders. This is what I believe. Good. I think we have decent answers to the question. You have your own thoughts. Now it is my turn. Our different answers show our differing mental states. There is no right or wrong answer. If you want to be a good daughter, mother, and husband, these are all great. However, what is a good daughter and husband? What is a good person? If I am a soldier, I need to guard the borders well. If I am a butcher, I need to slaughter the pigs well, right? However, these are the ordinary, secular way. You are in the 6 realms, as mentioned in Buddhist sutras. Thus, you are surely undergoing the 8 sufferings in life. Since you want to be a normal person, very few people talks about being enlightened. Otherwise, it's hard to judge what is good. Being a good child, if my parents need food, I'll get it for them. If your mother loves playing mahjong, you'll buy her a good set. If your father loves drinking, you'll buy him more good wine. If you are a good brother, and your younger brother is hit by bullies, you take revenge by beating up his attackers. But behavior without great macroscopic principle or direction can't be considered good. This applies to parenting. Some parents are so overprotective of their children that it causes dysfunction. A live reality show in China told a story of a boy who was confined at home. His mother told him that people in the outside world are bad. If you go outside, they'll cheat and kill you. Every day, she used all sorts of threats to keep her son at home. She barred the door. Her actions tormented her son. Somebody asked him, "What are your thoughts now?" He replied, "I don't want to be at home anymore. I'd rather die on the street." This mother loved her son, but without wisdom, love turns to harm. Without true wisdom, you think you are doing right, but actually your actions are wrong. Parents want their children to learn to protect themselves, but being overprotective as a parent will ruin a child's life. Let me tell you, despite your role in your family, your age or gender, doing it short-term, long-term or eternally. The happiest, safest, best, and wisest thing to do is to practice Buddha Dharma and help all sentient beings. Why should we learn Buddha Dharma and help all sentient beings? Because if we don't, we won't understand what is fundamentally good. There was a father who became a drug addict. Why? He eventually caused his whole family to lose all they had. His child had made a few $100,000 doing business, but all of it was spent by the father. The problem started when the father got a toothache. After seeing a few doctors, the pain remained. Someone gave him a terrible suggestion, which was to take a certain medicine for the pain. It turned out the medicine was a heroin-type drug. The pain would be gone if he used it. The more he used, the better he felt. The father didn't realize it was a hard drug. He was happy as long as it killed the pain. He got addicted. Later, he told his son, "See, I just use this small thing. My teeth do not hurt anymore." Actually, even if not hurting, he still used the drug as he got addicted. His son was very loyal to him and wanted to be an obedient son. Trying to keep his father happy, the son first gave him a few $100s, later on, several thousands, finally, several $100,000 the son had painstakingly earned in a few years were all spent on his father in less than a year. May I ask, is the son loyal? No. We said we have to be a good person. What is considered good? The fundamental principle is you should know how to be a truly wise, sensible person. Some people do not understand the truth. They think they should give whatever their father asks for. Ancients called learning the truth cultivating the way. Buddha left home and practiced, which is also called cultivating the way. What do we cultivate? Cultivate the great way. There are also many small ways. Healing your headache or fever, I received a small donation from you. It's a simple exchange of benefits. It's just a small way. Though with some abilities, you're not promising. Your heart does not yet embrace the whole world. The concept of being a good person is not always clear. Good people don't do harm to society directly. But they might harm society indirectly if they are not cautious. If you revere your parents, and they were bullied by others, what would you do? If your parents were quarreling with others, as a son, would you assault their opponents? The conflict could be your parents' fault. Is it ethical to assault people on your parents' behalf? In terms of ethics, being loyal to your parents is correct, but in terms of the great way, if you stand up for your parents by attacking others, you are wrong. Thus, we should understand the great way. Our behavior shouldn't violate principles of the way. It is especially difficult for an ordinary person to be good and wise. We don't have broad vision. We aren't giants or great men standing in the sky looking down at the human world. All we see is what is in front of us, a short distance. We can't foresee matters throughout life and transcend space-time. We don't always consider others' feelings. So, it's really hard for an ordinary person to be a truly good person. Nowadays, either in China or other countries, truly virtuous, moral people demonstrate the standard for being a good person. From a
这个规范
macroscopic, long-term view
就是
or
从宏
transcending
观
space-time.
长期的，所以这时候是指时空问题了哈。
The
从宏
standard is to
观
benefit the
而长
well-being,
期的
peace, and
有利
happiness
于
of humanity.
人类幸福、和平、美好的事情啊，这就是对的。 因
Often,
为我
we
们
do
做的很
things
多
that
事情
feel
说
good
现在就
now.
挺好的，
We
你现在
drink
很怕
alcohol
愁吗？
when being in
不要
distress.
愁，咱来喝几盅，喝几
Drinking
盅
a
就变成
few
喝几
cups
瓶。
becomes a
还有
few
人喝
bottles
死了，还有人喝出
regularly.
肝炎
Some
来
get
了，这
hepatitis
就焦
because
头
of
比比皆
drinking
是。
too much, some even die of
对，不
it.
懂得
People who
根
use
本的宏
alcohol
观
to
道理，
eliminate
就
their
是人
sadness but suffer
以
more
为做
later
对还在
abound.
错，
They don't
事
understand
情
the
发生来的时
fundamental
候就会把
macroscopic
你打
truth.
的呀，
When ordeals
就像一个
arise,
很
you'll be
小的
defeated if you
小
don't
船，
understand the truth. Like a
航行
small
到大
boat
海里，
sailing on the ocean is
风
engulfed
浪
by
一
water
起
when
啊，
the sea gets rough.
几十米高，一个小船瞬间被吞没了。
No
不要
chance
说
for it
自
to
己能
reach
划
the
到彼
shore.
岸了，马上会船毁人亡啊，葬身海底啊。
If
但是
people
懂得
know the
大道
great
的概
way,
念，
they won't
就不
violate
会
its fundamental
不会触犯
principles.
根本原则的错误啊。
A
所以
truly
真正
good,
成为一个
virtuous
好人，
person should
一个有
benefit
道德之
society and
士，
humanity.
是宏观的，有利于人类和社会的事情啊，这才是真正的好人。
Most of the
世界
well-known
上
universities in the
几乎最有
world,
名
such
的
as Harvard
这些
and
大学，
Stanford,
像哈佛大学呀，什么斯坦福大学呀，这
have
些
high
他们
standards,
那里
but good
综合的
scores
教育
alone
标
aren't
准和
enough to
招生
get
的
you
标准，
admitted.
这你光读书成绩好还不行，
There
你
is
的
another
读书之外的成绩
qualification
有
you
没有？
must
如
fulfill
果这些
before
都很
admission.
好，好的不得了，是10所学校当中选拔出来的，那还有一项，你在入伍学校之前，你
What
做过
beneficial
多少
contributions to
社会
society
公
have you
德的事
done?
情？
If you
没有，
haven't done any,
那
you won't
你
be
不能进我们
accepted.
学校。
What
也就是
kind
那
of
这个学校
people
咱
do
培养
these
的什么人才
universities
呢？很
cultivate?
简单，
Obviously, they
有利于
cultivate
社会
distinguished,
公德、道
noble
德、和平的
talents.
事情。
Who
这
will
就是世界
benefit
上最高尚
society
的人才培养的校园，
and
那已经
contribute
很
to
辛
the
苦了。
morality and
全世界
peace
人
of
都
the
认清了这一
humanity?
点，有利于，乃至还要跨过了这个时空的，啊，有利于咱们人类世界的事情。
People
那
with
才叫
such qualities are the dragons
那
of
才叫人中
humanity.
之龙。
Do you
大家能
understand
听
my
明白吗？
point? Yes.
哎，
There is
所以想
nothing
着我
wrong
们
with
只是把
caring
自
about
己
benefiting
那
only
个锅台处
ourselves.
理好，那个也可以。
However,
一个人
this
来
mental
说，
state is
你的心
relatively
境
low.
是比较低。
A
而
Buddhist
学佛的人
practitioner should learn from the Buddha and
学佛
practice
是说
like
是跟
him.
佛学，啊，跟着佛去学习，
That's
这叫
benefiting
自
oneself
利
and
利
others,
他，
enlightening
自觉觉
oneself and
他，
others,
自爱
loving
爱
oneself and
他，
others, being dedicated
奉
to a
献自己。
higher cause. In
那
this
这
way,
样才
whether
能
you have heavy
比较
negative
彻底
karma or
的
not,
把一个无论是业力多么深重的人，还是业力并不多，但是也想积极向上，
you
成为
can
真
elevate
正
your
有利于
mind
人
and
类和
truly
社会的
benefit
人，
humanity. You can
啊，
also
乃
help your
乃至
family gain fundamental
让你的
well-being.
所有的家人会获得一切根本美好的人，那就是造福于社会的人。
Honoring the deeds and acts of Buddha and
佛菩萨的这些
Bodhisattva,
行
what we
为，
highly
是
praise
不是
today?
正是今天我们说到了世界上大家最推崇的有利于社会的人呢？
Do you
那
want to
我们想
imitate
不想
them?
模仿啊？
Yes, then follow
想跟着
suit.
做吗？
Okay.
那就做嘛。
Anyway,
说来说去，
you
你还
just
想围着
want to
锅台
care for
转，
your own
我要在
business,
家
being
做
a
好
good
儿女，
daughter, or
我要
being
想
good
做
in
什么什么
whatever
好，
role you
没
play,
有
without
大
a
道的
moral
指南
compass.
针。就
People
像
are
一
like
艘船，不
directionless
管它大
storm
还是
tossed
小，
ships in
到
the
了大海
ocean.
里根本找不着方向，没
We
有
need
参
a
照
good
物，
compass to
还
guide
得想
us.
看到一座山都很难了。没有参照物，一会儿就分不清东南西北了。哎，要有一个大方向。
A
学佛
Buddhist
的人要有一个大
practitioner
愿
should make
望，
a great vow. A
这个愿
great
望还不能
vow is
私，
not selfish or
这个是自
narrow-minded.
私自
Selfish
利
people benefit only themselves.
啊，
A
那就是
person who makes a
会
selfish vow
不是消
accumulates
业，
negative
而
karma,
是积累业障，积累罪过，会
creating greater punishment.
你会受到
Life
更大
isn't
的
easy
惩罚和冲
already.
击呀。人生本来就不容易呀，啊。
Many
还有
Bodhi practitioners
我们
new and old are newly graduated from
之后
college.
走进菩提的人，包括现在在菩提的人，有很多是大学刚刚毕业不久就进来了。
What a
多
big
大的缘
karmic
分呢？
connection we have.
为什
Before
么
they
进来人家也
started,
进
they
行一
must
个
have
判断思
analyzed the
考，
reason to
这个
practice
结果真
Bodhi.
的
This
造福人类。
organization is
来
benefiting
干，这
humanity.
就是我一
Come
生
and
的
do
选
it.
择。
They know this is their
机会
choice for
难得，
life. The
但是
opportunity is
此刻
rare.
机会
Now
就
this
摆在你面前，
opportunity is right in
只
front
要
of
你
you.
往里跨一
You
步，
just need to take
你
one step
就成
forward.
为
You
了
will become a
啊，
person
全
radiating
身放着五
5-color
彩光
brightness
芒的
all
菩萨
over
一
like
样的。
Bodhisattva. Though
你
your
自己境
mental
界不
state
高，
isn't
但是你
high,
发
if your
心只要
aspiration
达
is
到这个真
sincere
诚，
enough,
你
you'll
就
be part of this
跨越进
family.
来了。
You could
你
be a
自己
little
可以糊涂。
confused, but once
上
you
了佛
embark
这
on
条
this
大船
Buddha's
的时
big
候，
ship,
方
you
向不
don't
是你
need to
管的，
worry
错
about
不了。
anything. You will
多做
contribute
多少
so
贡
much
献。
to society. When
就
I
像
was
钟表一
young,
样，
I
钟表我小
disassembled
时
my
候
father's clock,
把我爹那块那个大钟表给拆了，
and I
我
could
怎么都
not
安不
put the
上。
parts back together
我也
again.
安不上，
Actually,
我也
I
不
didn't
想
want
真
to
把它
put
安
them
上。
back, as
我
I
觉得
was
里头每一
amazed
个
by
小齿
all
轮
the
都做
inner
得那么精
gears,
致，
which were so
很美。
delicate,
啊，
refined, and
但
beautiful.
是那
If
些
those
齿轮从
gears
家
are
里拆出来
separated
之
from
后，
the
它
clock,
能
can they
够
tell
计时
time?
间吗？
No.
不能，
On
发
their
挥不
own, they
了
don't
钟表
work
的
like
作
a
用。
clock.
就
Only
把这
when they
几
are
十个小
assembled
轮子安
together
在
do
了
we
一起
get
之
a
后，
machine
它
called
才
a
产
clock
生了
that
一个
tells time.
吸引我不得了的那个小机器，它能创造时间，它能够告诉我们，原来这就是1个小时，这就是1分钟，
It
而
can
且
also wake you up
我
at
们
the
规定
time
时
you
间还能
want.
把你叫醒，
What a
是这么个
wondrous
神奇
thing
的
it
东
is.
西。
One
它
gear
一
by
个齿轮做不
itself
到。
can't create such magic. Now,
我
be
们
you a
现在
gold, silver, or
不
mud
管你是
gear.
金齿轮，还是银齿轮，还是泥巴齿轮，到
Once
这
you
儿
come
来
here, you
都会
will
变成
turn to
黄金的，
gold if you take a
因
step
为你
forward.
只要往前踏一步。 佛
Buddha
法是
Dharma
神
is
圣的，
sacred.
它的
This
神圣可
sacredness
能
may
节约了
save
时
you
空，
time and
不让
space,
你
or the
像
10
说你
years
要
of
历经
hardship
10年之
required to
苦
become
才能变
golden.
成这个金齿轮啊，不需要。你
Once
的
you've
意念发
aspired,
心
you
到
will be
了，瞬间就
transformed
变成这
into
个
a
金齿
gold
轮
gear.
啊，
Once you're
安到这
reassembled
个
with
表
the
里
other
头，你跟
pieces
着
in the
一起
clock,
走动，
you'll
去
have the power
左
to
右着这个
transform
世
the
界
world.
啊，去提醒着全世界的人。但是你这一
However,
个齿
when
轮
you
它
are a
根本就不是个
standalone
表。
gear, you even aren't a
对，
clock.
今天你
Once you
能
step
上
on
来
board
我
this
们这
big
个
ship
巨
that
大
helps
的
all sentient
度
beings,
化众生的大船啊，
and
你
become
是其
part
中
of
的
it, then
一
you
个
are
零件，
offering your
一个
greatest
齿轮，一个
contribution.
钉子啊。这一个零件的时候，自
By
己不会起
yourself,
什么
you
作用，
won't
不
be
会
able
产
to
生多大
have
的
much
效果。
influence on
但上了这
society
条
and
船之后，
humanity. Now
我
on
能
this
我
big
们
ship,
能够
together we
无
can
数
deliver
次的
numerous
把
people to
无
the
数
other
个有
shore,
缘
or
人
what we call the pure
从
land.
这一岸送到另一岸，也叫做送到彼岸啊。
If
那
there is
么
merit to
这
be
如果这
gained,
个
you'll
船有功
receive
劳，
it in
你
abundance. It's that
就
simple.
是其中大功臣之一呀。
You
就是
don't
这么
have to
简单，
worry about
所以不需
creation
要
or
你动脑，
planning,
不需
just
要
follow
你
along.
去费心创造计划，不需要，跟着往里走就行，就
It's
是这么
that
简单。
simple. The chance is rare. What is the
机
purpose of
会
our
难得
life?
呀！我说人生，我们现在到底是为了什么？
All
我们
we've
所说的一
mentioned
切
is part of
都是在
life,
生
yet
活，
none of it can
但是我
free
们
us
所说
from
的一切
fundamental
生活
suffering.
都是非常普通的，而不能够脱离根本之苦的那种生活的状况。
It's
因为
really
好
hard
坏
to
本
distinguish
身
good
这
from
个概
bad.
念都是
Even
很难
saints
区
can't
分的。
always judge.
圣人都拿好坏都不好讲，
When
只
we
达到
reach the
至高无
supreme
上境界
mental
的时候，
state, we
还
can
会
still
发现
discover there
什么
is
是好
good in
坏，
bad and bad in
坏
good,
中
yang in
含
yin
有
and
好，
yin in yang.
好中含有坏，阴中有阳，阳中有阴，
They're
还有
constantly
阴阳互
interchanging with the
换，
changing of time and
它也都
space.
在转呐、随着时空的流转，阴语变成阳语，阳语变成阴语。
Now
世界经
Asia
济的
is
中心
becoming the
等
center
亚
of the
洲
world
在
economy.
转化，啊，
The
地
earth
球
was
过去冷，
colder
小
when
时
we
候我
were
们那么
young,
冷，
and there was
没
no
有取暖
heater.
器，
Now
哎，
we
就
have
现
a
在有取
heater,
暖器了
but
之
the
后，天气
climate
变
has
热了，
become warmer.
啊，
The
这
world
世
is
界都在变
changing.
化着，啊，
All the
我们
big
所有的
behaviors in the
人
human
间大的
world
行
are
为都在转化
transforming.
着。
Our goals are
我们
changing.
这样的机会太难得了，我们人生的目标，
In
大
the
家追
past,
求的
you
过去
suffered in
都是
part
你过
as you
去。
pursued
你
worldly
之所以
status.
苦，就是因为你是活在你自己的那个生活状态里头。
One
那
of
今天
our
我们有一位
students
同
said
学
his life
在
was
这里
very
讲的，
hard.
他活得很苦，
Do you
里面
have
有
food
饭
to
吃吗？
eat?
有，
I
有还
asked
苦。
him. Yes, he
有的人可能说
replied,
因
but
为
he
爱
still
情而苦，
suffered. Some
还有
suffer
的是因
because
为
of a
事业
lack
而
of a
苦。
love
但是
relationship,
我觉得
some
这些
because
苦
of their
还都是
career. To
假的，
me, these sufferings are
但是你
unreal.
感受可
If
就
you're
是真的。
feeling the pain, that
为
is
什
a
么你
real
想不通
suffering.
这个
Why
道
don't
理？
you
你不会
understand
从
the
这种苦
principle and
中解
aren't
脱出来
freed
变
from
快乐呢？
suffering and be happy?
业
Because
力
of
所致。
negative karma.
都
You've
学过几期都能
participated
苦，
in several
你
retreats
想，
already and you're
没
still
学的人有多
suffering.
苦？
Imagine how
我
painful
告诉大
life
家，
is for
我是
those
这么
who've
想的。
never participated in a
如
retreat. If
果
my disciples and fellow
没
practitioners
有
truly aspire, I
六
can
道
tell
轮
you my
回，
thoughts. If there
如果
aren't
没有
six
前
realms
世
or
今生，
samsara, and no
那么
past
人
and
生只有
future
一次，对
lives,
不对？
then we can only live once, this
你说
present
你是
life,
作为一
right?
个小虫虫也是活
Yes,
的，
you can
作为
live
一
like a
条
small
不可一世
worm
的
or a
龙也是
mighty
活，
dragon in
那
the
你自己
world.
要
You have
选
the
一个呀。
choice. I'd rather be a dragon.
我觉得我要选择龙，
I
我
wish
就
to
要
be
不可一世，
unexcelled
我
and
要做到别人
unbeatable
做
in
不
the
到的，
world. I
我要
want to
好
live
好的
well and
活，我要
wonderfully.
活得精彩
I
啊！
want my
我要
parents
让
to
我
feel
爹娘
proud
觉
to have
得
brought
这个
me to
儿子
this
没有
world,
白白的生养，
to
没有白
feel
白
it
疼爱
worthwhile
我。
to have loved and
我
raised
要让
me. I
所有
want all
的
the people
在
who
我
looked
小时候
down
觉得
on
这
me
个
in
小
my
孩儿啊，
childhood to look at
将
me
来成不
now
了才，
and
我要让
say
他们
that
看一看
JinBodhi is
金菩提
remarkable.
非常了不起。
I
我
want
要
the
让我
Buddha
所
I
信仰
believe
的
in
佛
to
看
see
一
among
看，
countless disciples of his.
佛，
Only me can do it.
你收了千千万的万弟子，只要有我一个，
I
我就
can
要
lead the
让佛
way in
光
letting Buddha
照
light
遍世
shine
界，
through the whole world.
我能做得
I
到。
can do it. This
我
is
现在
what you
说给
should
你，
do. No
不
need
但
to
没有用，
applaud. You
可
should
你
also
也应该
think
去
this
这么
way.
想。
If
如果
there
人
is
生
only
只有
one
一
life,
次，
why should we
干嘛
only
总
care
围
for
着锅
those right
踩
in
转？
front of us?
对不对？
Why
那干
live
嘛
a
活得那
life
么
with
低
such
境
a
界？
low
人
mental
活这一次，
state?
你
If
想
there
再
is
来就
only
不容
one
易了。
chance, it won't be easy for you to return
如
to
果有
this
来世，你
world.
还不知道变
Even
成
if
什么
there
东
is a
西。
next life, you don't know what you'll become. With
如果
only
只有
one
一次的话，
chance,
为什
why
么不
not
去
live
好好活，
well?
做一个更
Be a
高尚
noble
的人，来
person and
回报社
repay
会？
society.
父母
Parents
养
brought
我
me
的，
to the
其实整
world.
个
In
天地
fact,
间，
the
整
whole
个的环
universe
境
and
生养我。
environment raised me. I
我要
want to
活得
live
精彩，做
vibrantly
给
for
天，
heaven
做
and
给地
earth.
去看。
If
那
you
你
are an
做个大
evil
坏人，出名
person,
很快
you'll
就
be
被人灭
destroyed
了，
because you
而且
bring
危害社
harm to
会。我就
society.
做
I
一个事
want
情
to
上
be the
最好
best
的
in the
人，
world to let
让神
deities
看
know
一
there
看，
is still
地
such
球
a
上还有
good
这么
person
好的
on
人。
earth.
这
How
好
good
人
is
是什么
this
人
good
呢？
person? All
是大慈
compassionate.
大悲的人，因为所
Ordinary
有的人
people
都是
are
自
all
私自利，
selfish,
所有
self-attached,
的人
and
都是自我
self-loving.
执着，爱自己啊。
Only
只
the
有
greatest
最最不
almighty
可
saint
一世的
wouldn't
大
only
圣
care
人，
for himself, but
才
love
不
all
爱自己，
sentient
爱众
beings.
生啊，
That is
那
Buddha.
就是佛。不
Whatever
管起
name
什
he
么名字，
uses, we should
我觉
act
得应
like
该做
him in
这样的
order
人，
not to waste this life.
我们觉得才这一次没有白活。
If
如果
there are
有来
future
世的话，
lives, the cycles of yin and yang,
啊，这
causality,
个
and
阴阳
reincarnation,
循环，因果循环，啊，这个有今生有来世，生命不灭的这个理论成
then
立
we
的
all
话，
come here with negative
我们
karma.
都是背着业力而来。我
From
们的祖
countless
宗，我
bad
们自
deeds
己，
like
我们做
killing
了
and
多少
cheating
坏事，
done
杀了
by
多
our
少人，
ancestors and
见过多
us.
少人，做过多少坏事。从祖宗数下来，我们估计每个人都是
Such
罪恶满
crimes
盈，
deserve
被杀
execution
100
over
次都
100
值得。
times.
我们
Including
前
our
世、前世、
past
前前
lives,
世，我
we've
们
been
活到
living
这个
on
地
this
球
earth
上，
more
至
than
少
a
有
million
100万年
years.
了。有
Over
这么
such a
长的时
long
间，
period
难
of
道没做
time,
过这么
aren't
多
we
坏事吗？
likely to have done so
肯
many
定做
bad
过。
things? Definitely.
我
We
们想，
shouldn't owe this
我们
world
不
so
要
many
欠很多的
debts.
债，欠这个世界上的。当
If
我
we
们
have
看到大家
divine
的时候，
eye and we can
如果我
see
们
our
有天
past lives,
能够追溯我们过去式的话，
we
说
see that I might
我
have
杀
killed
过
your
你家奶
grandmother,
奶，
your uncle, 10
我
pigs in
杀
your
过你
house.
三爷爷，我杀过你们家10口猪，啊，我
Suffocated your
杀死过
grandson
你
and
孙
done
子，
many other evil,
啊，
wicked
还有很多
crimes.
很恶心人的罪恶，我们就不说了。如
If
果
we
没有
could
这
see our
挡了一副
sins, sins, would we have the nerve to live in this world?
罪过，你有脸在这个世上做人吗？所以能证明这一点的。
A human behavior can prove when humans come to this world.
来到这个社会上，来到这个人世间。
They wear masks and only worry the mask is too thin to cover all the sins. Every morning, those with multiple sins use lots of powder to cover their true face. Originally it is white, but they paint it green, blue, black or red. Why? They dare not to face the beings they harmed in past lives with their true face. That is why Buddhist practitioners say they'll use their true face to meet people and face all beings with our true nature and mind. If there are past and future lives, if we continue to reincarnate, I hope for all the karmic creditors who were hurt numerous times by us. We'll soon deliver our love, repentance, liberation, and the wisdom of Buddha-dharma. So, in this life we can offset our mistakes. In the next life, whether we go to heaven or hell, that's the decision of the King of Hell. At least we don't need to live in great fear this lifetime. Why is it that so many people can't stand up straight, and they have palpitations and are in pain when a bit tired? It is all due to bad karma. How many people are cursing and blaming you behind your back? Why is it that many people can't bear the good fortune that comes to them? Again, bad karma. You owe so many debts. How can you possibly live well in this lifetime? Even if you have a good life at present, it'll be destroyed by karmic creditors, by the beings that you owe. The best method of dealing with this is to repay debts as much as possible. To deliver love, positivity, and beautiful blessings. Give the ungivable. You can give your money, effort, and strength. Offer whatever contribution you can. A song called Dedication has these lyrics. My friend, what can I dedicate to you? It is a song expressing dedication to lovers, friends, children, and parents. Our karmic creditors are not mentioned. What do we use to repay them? No one knows. Those who only care for their immediate interests are called ordinary people. In Chinese, fan ren means common, secular, and lay people. They're the same as afflicted people. An ordinary person's brain contains lots of afflictions. You've just enjoyed a pure, calm state. Wow, I feel really at ease. And then a new affliction jumps out. Why? It is caused by bad karma. I hope all of you, from today on, choose the noblest and most remarkable direction. That can eradicate all our suffering and negative karma. Choose to be enlightened and enlighten others, help all sentient beings, devote yourself and your whole life to service. Buddha, the compassionate being, fed himself to tigers. After a Buddhist practitioner dies, his ashes will be made into mud for making small Buddha statues. To protect, guard, and help you. Or, his flesh will feed birds and other living beings on earth. Even if you are buried in the earth, you return to nature. In fact, the most primitive, fundamental human thoughts are the most correct. We are composed of a few great elements between heaven and earth. They are the 4 or 5 elements mentioned by the Buddha: earth, water, fire, wind, and consciousness. Those elements also form other beings such as dogs and other animals. All these elements combine between heaven and earth and produce you, a person, with all your conditions and circumstances. After we die, we should return to this world. When we are afflicted because of love or emotions, illness, finances, misbehaved children, or others' gossip, In fact, all these are unreal, not even as real as vapor. Why are you afflicted? It is because of negative karma. You haven't seen through to the fact that the nature of affliction is emptiness. Why haven't you seen through? Your negative karma is like a wine bottle cork. Blocking the nerves of the wisdom inside your brain. We look on the bright side and live happily, but you just live being afflicted. Someone's loud talks or dressing nicely could irritate you easily. Why? You're narrow-minded. Your afflictions can't be cleared by teachings due to your negative karma. Thus, you'd better accumulate more merits and virtues. The inheritance of negative karma can be very serious. Illnesses, habits, and even relationship patterns can be inherited too. If you're divorced, will your children be? Do research online. Don't mind if Master's words are too cruel. Search online and you will learn the truth. Even patterns of love relationship can be inherited. Why? I want to know why, too. There is no other answer but one: negative karma. How can we change this karma? Accumulate merits and virtues and do more good deeds. If you don't know how to accumulate merits, come here. You'll accumulate great virtues and do great deeds. I believe if you stay here for one day, it can eradicate your lifetime of bad karma. Thank you, Master. If you practice for 7 days with me, you can eradicate the bad karma of 7 lives. Thank you, Master. A lot of your afflictions disappeared, right? Yes. Though you are tired, your peaceful mind and relaxed body proves that if we do great, positive things, we'll eradicate all our bad karma and accumulate immeasurable merits, virtues, and positive energy for ourselves, our descendants, and society. We could even give our positive energy and merits to all beings we harmed in the previous and present life. I train my disciples, especially senior ones, to learn to revere others and embrace newcomers. If you are a true, senior JinBodhi disciple, you should be broad-minded. If a new disciple does well, you should prostrate before him, which shows your high mental state. This action is not only to praise but to eradicate both his and your bad karma. Once I asked a disciple if he could praise and prostrate to a new disciple who was doing well in the center. The disciple then replied, Master, I can't. We have manners we need to follow. First respect the senior, then love the younger. Then I said, you take my request as loving the younger. This disciple replied, even if I love the younger, I shouldn't prostrate before him. How would he be able to take it? I think prostration should be okay, I said. Why? My disciples are mostly very educated and like to get to the root of a problem. If you look at this from another perspective, you'll realize the new disciple is going to become enlightened and Buddha from an ordinary, afflicted person. Shouldn't we prostrate and worship a person who leaves suffering and gains happiness? Of course, we should. Can't you prostrate to and worship a future Buddha ahead of time? He's a future Buddha. The disciple said, Master, is that true? I'm confused now. I said, think about it.
我说你想想是不是？
This person starts becoming enlightened and a truly all-compassionate person.
大悲的人了，啊。
When his merits and virtues reach a certain level, he'll become Buddha. Doesn't he deserve our prostration? Also, today this is your Dharma brother or sister. But isn't he or she your karmic creditor too? This is also possible.
这有可能啊。
Thus, giving him or her a sincere prostration can eradicate your bad karma.
是消的是你的业，
Ordinary people care about dignity, while a Buddhist practitioner does not. If he does, he is not
即
awakened.
使没有开悟。
Also, we make good use of all forms but don't attach to them. We should attach to fundamental compassion. Such a person has the Buddha mind.
还算是有点佛性。
So can a senior Dharma brother prostrate to a new Dharma brother?
你们
Yes.
说行不行？
I hope all of you understand this and will revere each
相
other.
互恭敬。
When I was cultivating, compared to you now, you all have dignity, but I had no
我觉
dignity.
得我是最没有尊严的人。
My parents were nothing except for being poor and honest. They had no social status. I was the poorest, there was nothing else but me.
除了我自己之外，多余一个东西都没有。
How can paupers afford dignity? My master said to me, you should thank all sentient
应该
beings.
去感激众生啊！
Because so many sentient beings will be helped and taught by you, and without them, how could you have the opportunity to show your talents and ability? Without patience, how can doctors have the chance to use their talents and skills? So, you need to thank them ahead of time. You should kneel down at the side of the road and
对
prostrate
所
to
有
all
的
passers-by.
过往的人为他们礼拜。哎，
Almost
差不多
1
1年
year,
的
I
时间
painted
就在那
myself
个地
dirty
方
with
自
dust
己
all
画得
over.
脏脏的，全抹的是土。
Knelt down at a roadside, and prostrated to all passers-by. Many people criticized me. Some were scared and ran away immediately. Some said, I can't take this. One said, you prostrate to me and let me be a
咱们在这儿当
master.
大爷，你拜拜我吧。
I
啊
just
我非常恭
prostrated
敬
to
地
him
拜
with reverence. Finally, he felt embarrassed. I am very sorry. Then he ran away with a flushed face. I was calm and peaceful in my reverence.
啊，
Regardless of people's praising me, cursing me, humiliating me, I just revered. Some rude, ignorant person may spit and challenge me by saying, if you're capable, clean this for me. I'd find some paper towel and clean it for him. I would not talk back or argue with him. I'd see it as a rare opportunity for me to revere him. What we learn from Buddha is not to harm. When I was young, what I learned was all about harm. All the martial arts are both for self-defense and harming others. Those who want to harm others are cowards. They are afraid of this world, and always want to make themselves more powerful and bolder to fight with others.
打架的时候我敢动手。
If they practice better, they may scare away and beat people down or to death. This is
这是
very
一种
weak
特别
and
弱智
cowardly.
的特别恐惧的一种心态，才导致这种行为啊。
My master said that a person who is magnanimous, fearless, and has a
大
big
无畏
heart
的人，
isn't
难道害
afraid
怕
of
给
prostrating to all
以一切
karmic
冤亲债
creditors.
主去
I
磕头
agree.
吗？那当然不会了，
Prostration is nothing and I will do it
好好
well.
去磕。
I
所以
do
我
my
做事
best
要么不
whenever
做，
I
要
need
做
to do
一定要用心。
something, or otherwise I won't do it at
磕了
all.
段
The
时间
more I
头，
prostrated,
觉得
the
自己
more
脑
I
子越
felt
磕
my
越发
mind
散，
had opened.
越
My
磕越觉
brain
得
was more
脑子里
illuminated
开
and
始发
joyful.
亮啊，觉得越磕越喜悦。
Later,
后来人越
people
觉得我
thought I
傻，
was
哎，这
insane.
小
This
傻子磕着
fool
头
was
还在笑，
smiling even
那
when
反而后边人
prostrating.
都觉得挺高
Usually
兴
a simpleton does
挺
that.
舒
I
服的，
felt very
我觉
comfortable
得可
because
挺
of
舒服的
kowtowing. At
啊。那
that
时候可以
time,
在这
there
里
was a
磕个
big
大
bump
包，
on my head because
啊，
of kowtowing. I
我觉
thought
得
I
有时
would
候
have
再
the
练一
iron
次，
head
练个铁
kung
头功呢，
fu if I kept practicing like that.
啊，特别好。
It
你
was
们做事情
wonderful. When you
有一
do
个需求，
things,
有一
you
个
ask
回
for
报。
a
好
return.
多
When
事
I
情没
did
有自己
things,
去
I
做。
asked for nothing but just giving. I
我连
didn't
求功
even
德的
ask
心都
for
没有，
merits and
我感
virtues.
激
I
他们，未
appreciated
来我给他
people,
度化
thinking
他
I
们，
might
所以我
teach and
感激
help
众
them
生，
in the
我才
future.
会爱
So,
众
I
生。
thanked and loved them.
看到无
I
论在这任何
appreciated
表现里面，
people,
我觉得都
whatever
是对的。
behaviors they
我觉得
had.
我既要啊
When they didn't know how to behave properly, I really felt pity for them. I would teach them in the future. Some looked well-built, tall, and handsome, but why didn't they know how to behave nicely? They were waiting for me to teach and transform them. Later I found that me teaching alone can't achieve much. Then I figured out a way. I teach my thoughts and mindset to many great karmic bonded people. Once they understand, they would join me and work together. Has anyone here understood me? Who wants to join me? Yes, I do. Then just do it, okay? Your hard days are waiting for you. When you go back, first learn to prostrate to others. I guess you'll get all kinds of criticism. Being criticized is a rare opportunity. You should be able to enjoy criticism with ease. You should not get angry. When others scold you, you should not talk back. If you have the urge to talk back, hold it in, and become insane. Then your mental state isn't high enough. If you feel confused, then don't prostrate over there, okay? Okay, you can also do other jobs. Go pick up the garbage and put it in the garbage can. Sort and recycle the recyclable, okay? This is easier than prostration, right? When others ask who you are, just say you're a Bodhi meditation practitioner. Be open and above board. You can even write the words Bodhi meditation on the back of your clothes. A Bodhi meditation practitioner will pick up garbage wherever he goes. What do we pick up? The garbage, pollution, and dirtiness produced by all sentient beings. To make the world cleaner. By helping those poor seniors and wretched people. You become bodhisattvas walking in the human world. How great you are! As long as we have jobs to do, we should feel happy. I just followed my master's guidance. I must fulfill my mission well. I have been like this since I was young because I'm honest. I didn't even know who my master really was. Some would ask, is your master a Buddhist or Taoist? I didn't know. What did he really believe? I didn't know. However, eventually his beliefs merged with Buddhadharma. What my master taught me included many Taoist practice methods. When I help people, I use them all. Is this a bad thing? When King Kangxi contracted a disease which seemed to be malaria, and many royal doctors had no cure for him, then a foreign missionary cured him. Right? If he had refused the medication from a foreigner, then wouldn't King Kangxi have died? If so, China would have lost a great emperor. Thus, if things are Dharma treasures, we just use them. Bad people use a knife to kill, but good people use it for cutting vegetables, right? So, there is no good or bad to a thing itself. Only when the human heart defines its mission does good or bad manifest. Similarly, a person is not good or bad. The big life direction or goal you choose defines you as good or bad. Living in an ordinary family can't be defined as good or bad. In fact, such a life is just mediocre and unambitious. Life is short and transient. What does transient mean? It is just like wind, puffing away. One puff, we become old. Another puff, we're gone. Life passes quickly. Thus, when you're still clear-minded, do something noble and great. And achieve the great wish you dare not imagine. If a person has such opportunity to dream and carry out their dream, what a blessing. Nowadays, we're living in a time when we can keep ourselves fed and not starve. We should create worthy things that benefit all sentient beings, and make our whole life unexcelled and remarkable. We should make all relatives, friends, and people who know us feel honored.
知道我们的时候，都以我们为荣。
Such a life is wonderful. We're not seeking fame, but truly becoming remarkable people.
是因为我们真正的做了一次了不起的人。
Such an action is just the opposite of that of an ordinary person. Ordinary people love themselves and take everything good for themselves. Some want to take Mount Tai back home. They haven't done it just because they can't move it. They want to turn all beautiful things to their own use. What we want to do is to give all the beautiful things to society and people in need. How wonderful and remarkable such a life is. Your ancestors have not done such things. Win glory for your ancestors and family. From now on, they are proud of you. Would you like to do this? Yes. If you would, join us as soon as possible. Act, be a person benefiting society. With great aspirations, start from small actions. This way, you have not wasted your life. I have made it very clear. Do you understand me? Yes. You may be unfamiliar with enlightenment and Buddhadharma's fundamental practicality. Usually, at Bodhi, while doing different daily tasks and work, you're unable to function. Say, you can't answer the questions of newcomers. You don't know how to do a job. Even you don't know why you come here or what you say fails to make others happy. Sometimes, you may fluctuate. Wanting to leave at one moment and stay the next moment. You hesitate as you don't understand your direction and these truths. The more confused you are, the more hesitant you are. Thus, you don't know where to go. Through the activities of this retreat, if your understanding grows. With courage and resolution, walk this path well and steadily. If you stay here for one day and mess around, or being a monk for one day, ring the bell for one day, it means you are half-hearted and passive. It means you are wasting your most precious youth. Please learn the way I do things. I try my best to do well at everything unless I don't want to. This is the method and principle of doing things. I'll never change this. If we know what is good but don't follow it, we'll lose a wonderful opportunity. If you run away, that is because your negative karma is too heavy. If you stay courageously, it indicates you have a deep karmic connection with me from previous lives. You and your ancestors might have accumulated many merits and virtues, so now you can stay courageously and willingly. Some who have a great karmic connection with me and deep innate wisdom decide to follow me for the rest of their life after just seeing my photo. They feel happy about it. Though I may look lovely in my picture, when it comes to toiling here in obscurity, you might start to vacillate and come to ask me one day, do we truly have a karmic connection? Yes, we do. Where are we going to go in the future? My answer is indefinite. I said you will go to the Pure Land, but this can't be demonstrated to you. Not like a rocket rushing into the sky, which you could see. It can't be seen. So I can only tell you honestly that I'm not sure. If the Buddha asks me, if you can't go to the Pure Land, what would you do? I don't care where I go. This is my answer. Because your compassion touched and benefited me, I'll follow you determinedly. I'll follow you wherever you go. I am not concerned about my own path. This is how I am and I want to do things this way. Children can't guess the thoughts of adults. Small animals cannot understand humans.
成年人心中的那些思想，小动物更不能了解人类。
Compared with deities and Buddhas, our intelligence is way too low and we can't perceive what Pure Lands look like. However, when Buddha appears in our world, we just follow him. He loves us and waves to us. Even if he ignored us, I'd chase him. Many courageous lovers pursue others this way. So, why run away when Buddha's here? Then, you might really miss your chance. If you wait for the next life to follow the Buddha, in the next life you might be a bird, turtle or fish, we don't know what we'll become. If you become an animal, learning Buddhadharma would be too difficult. If you become a turtle, you'll say, let me learn it when I become a human. In the next life you hope to become a human, but what if no one teaches Buddhadharma? Won't you suffer then? Thus, I hope that everyone is courageous. A true great Buddhist achiever is not weak but the most courageous. Great Buddhist achievers have infinite wisdom. Wisdom has different aspects. The first one is most courageous, sincere, and believing. In the world of the Buddha, what he gives us may not be understood by us. The human brain of those with good karma, let alone those with negative karma, can't understand what the Buddha is thinking. Similarly, an ordinary farmer can't understand what a great scientist is thinking. There are huge differences among humans. What about between humans and deities? Huge differences. Some scientists have said that UFOs have visited almost every city, and many people have seen them. However, no one knows what UFOs are, exactly. UFOs are mysterious and profound, like deities. My experience is that this path is worth following and pursuing. I will follow, pursue, and realize it with my whole life. This way I have not wasted my life. If you want to prove my life path is right or wrong, just have a look at the path I used to walk, and you will know whether my current path is correct or not. I hope young Bodhi disciples choose the best path. What kind of good job can you find after graduating from university? It's difficult to find an ideal one. If you really want to earn lots of money, and choose something you don't enjoy doing, it's not a shame. It's normal and reasonable for an ordinary person. However, there is a way to earn a living which can feed you and all karmically connected people. It's living before the Buddha, an endless living you can make. As long as you aspire to help others, you will never starve. When I practiced the most painstakingly, I didn't go to work to make a living and I used all my time to practice well. When I was practicing, some people asked me, "You keep practicing like this, what if you starve to death?" I replied, I made up my mind that if I starve to death, it's meant to be, if not, then it's not. I am not worried about starving. Thank you for your care. If you worry about such a thing, how can you be called greatly courageous? We should have great fearlessness, great courage, great wisdom. A great universe and world, and our heart should be as huge as a vast ocean. Everything is great. Be all compassionate. Our vow should be lofty and broad. We should think of reaching expansive crowds of people. Only thinking of being a good daughter and good parent is good. Or maybe even limitless, but it lacks greatness. We should aim to make all relatives and friends proud of us for reasons which far surpass the concept of being a good daughter or parent. Please grasp this good opportunity. Thank you, all. Thank you, Master.